Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2. Here today on the channel, we're back with the Rome 1 and Rome 2 mod. We're going to be playing as the Julii here today. So, if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like, subscribe if you're new, let me know in the comments feedback and suggestions for the series, and where you'd like me to expand and conquer. We've wrapped up my Brutii series on this mod, and the Julii actually got knocked out pretty early on. So, we're going to try and right that wrong here today. We have a +5 conversion to Latin culture, we have a +5 melee attack during battles against barbarian tribes, and we have cultural assimilation as well. Here are the other factions which I am open to doing let's plays on. And yeah, I'll put the mod in the description below. You can find it on Steam. I do very much enjoy it. It brings the arcade style of Rome 1 to Rome 2. Now I'm going to play the Rome 1 intro now. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get stuck into the Julii campaign here today. Let's go.
Gods. I hate Gauls. My grandfather hated them too. Even before they put out his eyes. Did you think I'd be out here on the frontier without good reason? Yes. Rome needs a strong frontier. No! Rome doesn't need unwashed barbarians at her gates. So, that's why I'm here. The leader of the Julii, to bring Roman order to stinking Gauls. Revenge? That'd be good too. This war against the Gauls won't last long. And when it's done, I've got plans. This is all about power. Power in Rome. Going down that road means dealing with all my rivals. The Senate, the Greeks, those Carthaginian elephant riders, the Scipii and the Brutii families too. After all, the man who controls Rome rules the world. And one day, I will be emperor.
March north and capture their territories. This will allow you to consolidate Italia and ensure the safety of Roma. You must wage war if you hope to extend your dominion. Syracuse and Carthage own territory in Magna Graecia, so conflict with them is inevitable if you wish to expand across the Mediterranean. Otherwise, they may prove useful allies against Etruria or the Gaulish tribes to the north. Come what may, Rome will triumph.
Okay guys, welcome to the campaign map. Let's get stuck into it. So, we start off with two territories in the north, Arinium and Vela 3. I always call it Arretium. So, in our region of Italia, we have Rome and Neapolis. We're currently at war with the Gauls in the north. We don't start off with an army, as I believe it's still bugged in this mod. You have to. Everyone else starts off with an army turn one. We have to recruit our own. So, we currently have Lucius Julius Libo, our dictator and faction leader. We currently have the majority of the house. So, we've got two other parties here. We're going to stay Republic for now. The House of Junia as well. So, Republic will eventually maybe go Empire if we can. We want to try and get good old Lucius married off as well. Rome, down in the south, has 20 units. So the Scipii Romans border us there. And then we have the Brutii. Now, this time around, I'm curious to see how well the Scipii and Brutii go. In my Brutii campaign, the Julii AI just bit off way more than they could chew. Right. So I'm just curious. We're running at war with the Gauls. I was wondering if I can make peace just to build up a bit. Just in case we get aggressively rushed, which is a possibility. So we'll try and push into Gaul first. Pushing into Cisalpine Gaul into southern France is probably the play. We can get a military alliance here, hopefully, if they don't want us to drag us into a war with the Macedonians. We'll try and get some cash from our Brutii allies. Same with the Scipii. We want to try and milk as much money out from their treasury so we can get a brand new spanking new army and also put our money into our local economy. So we've got Macedon here. They don't want any relations. I'm assuming Brutii is probably going to go eastward into Macedonia. And Scipii should be dealing with the Carthaginians to the south. But if I see any opportunity of taking east or southern territory, I'm going to do it. Okay, so 21 turns before we get professional units. Land management as well. Slaves are a huge problem in this mod. So we're going to have to deal with them eventually. But we're going to go with supply reforms. To start things off, objective-wise, I think it's reskinned as the, like, Rome to Rome. So we've got some chapter objectives. Okay, so let's have a look at our building capacity. Markets, civic farming. This is our capital. So we'll go with a civil settlement for our capital. And we'll expand this because we want to try and get more food. We do want to eventually upgrade the settlements just in case we get attacked. A fishing port would be a good idea. Maybe a mine pit for some money because we need the food because we currently got 0 and we want to try and get some Hastati in here now. And then we'll eventually focus on upgrading our settlements because we don't want like some Illyrian pirates or another army sort of to go there. I'm actually going to stop building that settlement because I can get access to 5 units of Hastati. We need to start getting the ball rolling for our conquests. But let's end the turn and continue. Let's cross our fingers and hope that the Gauls aren't aggressive and have an army up near Patavium and Menelidunum. We've got Genoa there as well, which you can push against. But welcome to the top of the turn. Those 5 units have been done. Gaul and Massalia is at war. Good. And the Greeks we found. Right. Mr. Lucius Libo can now be married off to Pompeia. Hopefully they have some children. Unfortunately, in the Brutii campaign, we were a little bit unlucky, as we didn't have any biological children. The House of Brutii started adopting people, so these guys seem a little bit younger. I kind of hope that, yeah, once they update this mod, maybe they can flesh out the family trees a little bit. Because in the vanilla Rome, you actually start off with quite a few family members. Alright, so yeah, I was just trying to make non-aggression, so just in case they hit me there. But they're hanging down in Syracuse. The Greeks shouldn't be too much of a concern for us for now. But the turn times are really good in this mod. And now we have 10 units of Hastati. Oh, Massalia and Genoa are at war. Okay, well, I think it's time to be a little bit ambitious and push north. We want to go to Cisalpine Gaul. Hopefully, there isn't too many armies in that fog of war that we can't see. They still don't want peace, no, because we might actually be able to build up a little bit more. So let's push Legion 1 to the border. We can't see. And let's get a couple more Hastati in there. The town watch are cheaper, but we're better off just going with Hastati spam for now. Okay, so we can upgrade our fishing port. Maybe we're better off getting a grain pit or a large vineyard. I think the vineyard is probably the play. I'm sure you can really micromanage these buildings, but I think that's alright. I'm just worried because Arrhenium is a coastal city, and if we get war-decked and ganged up on, which can happen in this, it could be annoying. Right. Let's get a spy. I thought we had to unlock the recruitment, so we can't get champions until there. So we want to try and get some champions in, because they give you a lot of buffs. Some people forget to embed champions into their armies. It's definitely worth it. We probably could have got here a little bit earlier to scout ahead. We nearly have the finances to get a secondary army. We'll bring it over in Arrhenium because the last thing I want is Gauls to come down here We could... The thing is, right, you can go with the free recruit of a different house, or you can pay and get access to potentially adopting another general in the future. But I think we'll just pay the free because we want to get an army going. Looking at these two, farm gives you 7, while the grain pits are more beneficial in my opinion, because we eventually want to try and get a fishing port, but we can't afford it now anyway until we get those Hastati in. So let's push over. Oh, looks like we're going to be able to hit Batavium with impunity. But look, you know what? I'm kind of tempted to fight this one just to show off the units. We do outnumber them 3-1, but I want to have a look at the goals and the Julii Romans this time around. I'm also using some other mods as well. I'm using the unit card mod, as you can see, and I am using just some various graphical mods, HD textures and whatnot. You can find them all on the Steam Workshop quite easily. I don't recommend them for everyone because it just sort of depends on the ability of your PC and whatnot. But personally, I found that Rome 2 seems to be more optimized and performance-wise better of the two compared to Attila. So we'll keep in our formation here. And let's have a look at the units. So here are our tier 1 Hastati for the Julii Romans. So there are some of the HD textures there on those units. Moving back to Lucius Libo. So let me know in the comments where you'd like me to expand and conquer. I think pushing up through Cisalpine Gaul is the play, then going through Gaul. In my Rome 1 series, you sort of head down through Spain, depending if the Britons attack you in the north of France, or Germany, or the Spaniards over the Pyrenees. Sort of dictates where I go. So let's have a look at the Gauls. Nice, bright and green. Very loadly armoured. My father hated Gauls. So we should be able to put the pummel in on them. Alright, they've taken the high ground. And they're going to sit back and wait for us. Let's try and completely and utterly surround them. Hastati, move up. We'll try and swing around as well. Lucius Julius Libo to get some hammer and anvil strikes on charge. But the Hastati, the young soldiers, are pushing up the hill. Now, the garrisons in this mod aren't even the strongest anyway. But that's something to take into consideration. Got some archers, so they should be able to hit us a little bit before we get up here. But we have a lot of pillar. I think historically it was usually like 3 pillar to a man, wasn't it? In this we get a fair bit more. So, this series will end in the not too soon future. So let me know what you'd like me to replace it with, so I can get organised and prepared. I could do a Scipii campaign, but I've actually done one of those recently on vanilla Rome 1. Maybe we're better off to go back to Attila and play the 1212 AD mod. There's also the Rise of Mordor mod campaign sub-mod that's available on the workshop, which looks alright. So, the Gauls are moving up their archers. Looks like they were about to let loose, but they didn't. We're pushing up the hill here. Normally, you don't really send your Roman boys so far up a hill like this because it exhausts them. But we numerically outnumber them so much we should be alright. Okay, so those orders cancelled. That's annoying because we lost line of sight. But we're nearly now up at the apex of the hill. Skirmisher fire rattling us. Good charge. And the Hastati have engaged the Batavium Gaulish garrison. Bring them down, lads. Hastati spam early on, particularly for these tier 1 units. We're going to be absolutely laughing because they just perform so well. Alright, quickly give out those surround and attack orders now that we can properly see them. Yeah, in my opinion, Rome has arguably the best tier 1 units. Like, there's not much you can do about Hastati. Swordsmen, very cheap, particularly what you come against against barbarians. We get even more further buffs. Alright, let's continue to surround them. They're pulling back this way. We need you to start getting into that as well. We keep on losing sight of them slightly. So their archers now are in a retreat down the hill, and our cavalry should be able to intercept. There we go. Wasn't the best of initial charges, but wrapping around the top of it worked. The barbarians are now running, and we have victory. Let's try and run down as many of these guys as possible, and we'll be able to take the first settlement of our conquest of Gaul. Vina Vina Vici! We came, we saw, and now we've conquered Batavia. Come on, hack him down. There we go. A nice kidney shot. Alright, let's slightly speed things up. Decisive victory. Let's end that one there. Lucius Julius Libo deployed 2,440. Only lost 16 boys. Wowee. The Gauls deployed 741 and lost the entire army. Looking at the casualties sustained and inflicted, some of the Hastati units got 90 to 93, and Lucius Julius Libo's bodyguard got 91. As soon as they surrounded them, we did, and they capitulated massively. But a good victory to start things off. Just wanted to really show off the units for this mod. And the goals. Yeah, so once we get to a stable position, essentially what I think is, like, we shouldn't march on Rome until we, like, occupy what was historically the entirety of the Western Roman Empire. I'm going to try and keep historical borders. Like, I don't really want to cross the River Rhine if I can avoid it. But you never know. You sometimes have to beat factions into submission just to get rid of them from annoying you. So, we'll see how we go. I didn't really want to cross the Danube in the Brutii campaign. But a good victory to warm up and start things off. Please do take into consideration that this mod is a work in progress. He doesn't have a sword there, so Libo, with his fists of fury, beat him into submission. Quite literally with his fisticuffs. Alright. So not really too much we can do in Batavium first off, but we'll push into Midland. Okay. We've got some skills already with Libo. It's coming along nicely. Okay guys, welcome to the top of the turn. I've skipped a little bit ahead. It's 271 BC. I've got a secondary army pushing up, and we've got Libo to push into Medellin. We'll surround this one, but so far we haven't intercepted a Gaulish army yet. So we've got a unit of ladders. We could get a little bit more, but we'll get some more siege equipment, and then we'll fight this one. Alright, let's chuck a quick save, and we'll continue the siege. We'll bring our reinforcements up as well. Let's end the turn and continue. Yeah, so I think they might have been drawn away because they were at war with Genoa and stuff. But potentially, they're not really focusing on these frontier settlements. The Senate's now at war with Carthage, which is interesting. Right, so we've got Legion 2 here now that can make its way up to Medellin. And that should give us enough, yeah, to siege it. So we only outnumbered them about 600 with the initial army. Now, with the other 1,000, we should be right. And they've taken some attrition there as well. So welcome to the Battle of Midland, 271 BC, where we fight a slightly larger Gaulish host. 2 units of swords, 6 units of spears, 2 units of archers, and we're still rolling with a Hastati spam. We've got 2 ladders now. Each one of those ladders adds up to 4, I believe, so it's a total of 8. It's currently pouring down with rain. Luckily, we've got some RNG of the last one there. I hate fighting in the night and the dark. It's just so hard to see on a YouTube video when they compress the hell out of it. It's more annoying. So what ways we got up here? We could send some units here to maybe skirmish down there, but then we're kind of wasting a couple units. Okay, so it looks like our army's deploying from this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send some siege equipment over there. We'll send 3 as a point of attack. Then we've got this huge exterior wall to try and go for. So we'll chuck a couple there. We want some guys to push up to the gateways. In Rome 2, we can send units up to there as they can throw their torches to try and ignite the gate. So we might lose a unit or 2 because they can suffer quite large casualties. Well, let's have a look at the army. Lucius Libo here with 3 units. One of these will be making their way up to the gate. We have 5 ladders on this long side, ready to push up and across. And you're going to go to that gate there as well. Let's give out some of these attack orders now. You move here, you go there. This side is probably slightly better as there's less arrow towers. But try and push up where you can. And we'll move you to the gate. Pull you higher up once the gate is open to close the distance. We'll send now our ladders up here. I wouldn't normally go there because there's 2 arrow towers there, so we might suffer a little bit of casualties, but there's no point of massively rotating my reinforcements coming in. Alright, let's go for it. Our reinforcements have arrived, thank you. Now we're slowly but surely making our way to the city. But so far, we've been pushing into Cisalpine Gaul with very little challenge. Have our reinforcements arrived? Nearly. Let's get them to continue on up. A little bit of skirmisher power going off there. Up at the gateway. 2 arrow towers and then the archer unit. They're also hitting us on the side as well. Their archers are in full action. And the Gauls are trying to move more spearmen up. That's probably the perfect angle for them, hitting them on the sides. Like I said, we might lose those 2 units, but it'll be worth it. Alright. Those reinforcements are still now coming up. These guys are taking massive casualties trying to throw those torches on the the gate and ignite it. We've already committed, so we really just got to keep on going. Because we're already here compared to the ladders that are taking a little bit. I think these other ladders look like they're probably going to get there. But they have been smart. They haven't let that suspect side wall fall. Okay, these guys are now gone. That's alright. They've nearly done their job. Let's send another one up. We should be able to break through the defenses here. But you never know, it might cause a little bit of a gridlock. Right, now that the ladders are there, we'll give out the order for them to push. We'll also give out some more additional attack orders. But the Romans have breached Medellin. The Romans are at the Gaulish gates. And we're surging up over the top now. Let's get stuck into this warband. Incredibly lightly armoured, but they have decent numbers. 98% fire damage. Now that some of those ladders are there, we'll try and push up. These guys are having a better time getting up on the walls by the look of it. Why are they doing that? I couldn't just like all group them there. The enemy gates have been destroyed. Fantastic. Probably should have suppressed that advice a little earlier. It is annoying, but it sometimes gives me the pop-ups when generals get taken out. But we are pushing back the warband garrison. Oh, that gate hasn't been destroyed. And now we're pushing up on the frontal and longer wall. So that gateway must be the one that's opened. Really impressed with how the Hastati are performing early on in this series. Their real test will come when we have to face proper Gaulish barbarian, heavy cavalry, and swordsmen. That's what really these barbs excel at. We're chasing a unit of archers now to the town square. We might be able to make it there. I could bring Libo in, but I think not. Oh, they're actually wavering in there, which is interesting. Keep on charging though. I'll send a unit to the town square so we can initiate the countdown. Yeah, why are those guys wavering slightly? They've just been pinned as they come up, down and through. Yeah, they've just been pinned up, down and through as they get up over the ladder. They're now wavering, perfect. We want to start to cap those arrow towers, because they're hitting us there a bit. Probably could have auto-resolved this one. But it seemed like a fun and enjoyable battle. And it is. They're giving some of our units a bit of a run for their money. Right, so you guys can probably push right to the town square now. We're actually pushing those units flush up against the wall. We're firmly now swarming into the streets. And we're about to start a countdown. Oh, look, here we go. We've got a rear barbarian charge below their sacred tree. Visually, that looks quite stunning. And that's it. They've completely routed after that charge. So we deployed 3,600. We lost 933. We could have lost a lot less if we didn't send 3 units basically to their deaths to deal with the gates, but so be it. It was worth the test. Valor of the Gauls deployed 1,896 and lost 1,590. Looking at what took out most of the casualties for us, for them, 119 with one of those archers. That must be the ones we hit side on. A couple of those swordsmen got 100 as well. But Midland is now under our control. Now, the only problem with Alpine Gaul does open ourselves up to the barbarians in the Retii and a couple of others up there near the Octodura, yeah, the Helvetii and stuff. So we've got to watch out for those barbs, but we should be alright with our stats. Let's go with the Field of Mars here, and we'll try and replenish and repair where we can. I guess the next place is to push down and try and hit Genoa.
Welcome.
Got them there. They don't want peace at all. They're really not interested. Okay, welcome to the top of the turn. It's autumn. 271 BC. The Brutii have actually made landfall in Apollonia, and the Scipio have taken Corellas and secured Sardinia and Corsica. We've got a full stack now, ready to push into Genoa and declare war upon them. And we want to push westward into France to deal with the last of the Gauls, who are still vehemently opposed to peace. Not even if we join their war. You're even at war with the Greeks here, the Massalian rebels. Okay. We might just have to war deck them because I don't think we're going to be able to get a fee. They might accept though, yeah. I don't know if it was worth it. We're probably going to come after you eventually as well. Alright, let's auto resolve this one. Yeah, so from what I can remember, yeah, Genoa, like the Ligurian faction, they were rebels, weren't they, in the original Rome? They weren't their own Genoa faction. Right, we don't need the Field of Mars, so we can break that down. But now we've secured our first entire province in Cisalpine Gaul. We'll go with food and public order there for now. It's actually not bad once you go up a bit to drop the tax rate in this mod to help things out. So we've got the Noria and then Massalia Tolosa further to the west there. Alright, so all Roman factions are starting to progress nicely. Some fool has been caught defacing the Temple of Jupiter. I always go to read that as defecating. We'll pay off the temple staff. Alright, it's time to make way to Massalia now. Winter, 269 BC. I've also restructured the army slightly, as we're going to bring in a veteran, and we've also got 4 units of Equites in our build. I'm going to keep our secondary army, Ligo II Augusta, in Cisalpine Gaul. But the Brutii have done quite well, pushing into Greece. The Scipii now are pushing into Carthage. They've taken Lilybaeum. So this time around, the AI seems quite aggressive. There's a Greek stack pushing up there, which I would be concerned about. Tolosa is under the control of Spain, so that could be annoying. They seem to be going hard against the Gauls, because Spain is at war with the Gauls. I don't know what's happened to Gaul. They're at war with so many people. Yeah, so even the Spaniards are at war with Massalia, and they still don't want peace. They're having none of it. Spain, I will join your war against Massalia. How about that? Will you give me a payment? No. Well, will you let me join your war? Rejected. Alright. We're just going to probably have to war deck them ourselves. That's alright. Right, we'll push into Massalia now. We'll call in the Scipii and the Brutii. And yeah, we outnumber them. What are these? Just pikemen and some hoplites and stuff. Alright, let's auto-resolve this one. And secure the coastal province of Massalia. Alright. Sweet. It's quite a large city as well. We're going to be able to get a lot of trade and commerce out of it. So Aquitania in the north is what we need to push for. Alright. Let's move this veteran up there now. Dacia's declared war on me. Really? Oh, okay. The Brutii are probably going to deal with the consequences of that first before me. Okay. So, we've got a third stack in operation now. Yeah, check this out. Spain is besieging Bertigala. The Celt-Iberian Gaulish War is going on. We're going to push up to Nemesis. But there might be an army up towards Brabracht. Potentially. We'll just have to see. Yeah, we are at war with Dacia. But that shouldn't be too much of a concern. Yeah, they're really just not interested. Oh, but there's an army inside. And it's the King of the Gauls. Okay, we might actually be better off pushing to their capital. Potentially. Yeah, let's push there then. Because there's going to be a pretty large garrison in Brabracht. Carthage is now under Scipio control. Pella's been taken by Macedonians. And Illyria has fallen to the Brutii. So, I'm hoping that the other Roman factions build up proper huge kingdoms so we can fight them. Competitively. When the rabble speaks, the leadership must listen. Banning the corruption. So we can ban the corruption, reach a compromise. Because the people call for purity. I guess we'll ban corruption. That should serve us well, I'd imagine. Okay, so let's push into the Gaulish capital. That army from Brabracht is actually gone. Maybe to deal with the siege of Bertigala? Potentially. Anyway, we're going to strike at the Gaulish capital. But they're at war with 7 factions. Like, what? No wonder they're not focusing with me. They've probably got more imminent dangers as I move up. But now with taking the capital, we have access to the crucial gold supply in the heart of Gaul. Spain actually like me now for my wars against the Gauls. Would they want trade? They're going to accept that non-aggression. Hang on. Would they want some sort of an alliance? Because we might be able to use that for our advantage. We can always betray them in the future. Yeah. Spain look really keen. Whoa, they're going to give me a massive payment as well. Hopefully 2,000. Trade, non-aggression. That's gone through.
I will take word of our agreement and put it before my people. They will feast in celebration.
Yeah. Wowee. Oh, they really like me now. So, our first external alliance could be with Spain. Alright, cool beans. Hey, we have a child born. We didn't get one in the last series. Super happy about that. Decimus Julius Cossus. What a name. A strong name for a strong boy. So we'll declare him our heir now. Sweet. 10 gravitas as an infant. Alright, welcome to the top of the term. So, we've got Legion 3 here now, hanging out near Massalia. I've got Legion 2 that has been circumnavigated by the Gaulish king. We've actually trapped them here from Babract. We'll probably try and send out Libo, but they could attack us. It looks like the Brutii have been massively pushed back. They've lost Larissa Pella, and they're just sort of being carved apart by the Macedonians, and the Dacians threat them as well. So, we could get intercepted here now with that second army, which I don't mind. I could actually retreat it back. We'll just have to see how this army reacts. They pushed south as we came up. Okay, so we are heavily outnumbered for this one. We can't auto-resolve, but I'm actually tempted to try and fight it. We might be able to get something from this. So we got 3 units of cavalry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units of Astarte. They have bronze chevron swords, making up the bulk of the force. 5 spears and 3 skirmishers. It's going to be a massive fight here today. I think we can put in a lot of pressure on them. The more we can get rid of, the better. And then we'll send a reinforcing army up. Because the thing is, right, we're probably better off holding here at the bridges than retreating further back, because they're probably going to give chase anyway. There's 2 ways across. We'll try and hold it with our brave Astarte boys, and we'll try and move our cavalry over and cycle charge. So I just want to make sure. So that's the way over. Because sometimes they can be a little bit deceiving, depending on mods and particular maps. So it looks like that's the way across as well. There doesn't seem to be a one down further there. Okay, so let's divide our army up as equally as we can. We'll go with 5 units down here. We might need slightly more because the bridge isn't as big. Alright, you can sit there. Yeah, we might need to lopside it a 4-5. We'll move our cavalry here, because they're probably going to be able to get over the river quickly. Alright, we'll pause for this one, because I want to try and get everyone up here, so... Oh. I saw the blue circle there and just was a little bit terrified. No, so higher up there, the water is too deep. And if heavily armoured Astarte were to get in there, they'll probably wash away. No proper testudo either, so we'll make a front line on the bridge. We want to try and get actually fully on the bridge and hold. So move you here. Move you slightly behind. And we'll just try and overlap and cluster the rest there. There we go. And everyone on default has fire at will enabled. And we want to try and go like... Oh, why is it doing that? Oh, that's annoying. It's slightly bugging out a bit. We might have to like individually do it. That's allowing me to stretch it like that. It's just the 5 it's having a problem with, or maybe it's that piece of terrain. What is going on? There's something there that's like blocking it. That's so strange. That's why you've got to set this stuff out. So it's actually impassable there, is it? It doesn't look like it, but it's deceiving. Like, that is the play, I guess. Okay, we'll move our cavalry up. I want to, like, rapidly push our guys across. It just depends how their army deploys. Will they be evenly split up? No, they're very much slanted this side, so pull back. That cavalry is not going to be able to make its way over. We'll slow things down and have a look. So, we've got Legion 2 here, who fought against the Gauls in the Battle of Batavium and Midland, so they do have a small amount of experience. This is not Legion 1, who took the Gaulish capital and seized the gold mines and the steel... I'm about to say steelworks. This is not the 1800s. The ironworks. Okay. So you push further up here. We might be able to get that cavalry around. Yeah. I thought they would have gone for the bridge more, but they're going for the open field here. So we're fighting in the waterway. Yep, so they can slightly move up a little bit. And what is it worth doing Testudo here? That's the thing. I'm not entirely sure. But they're now pushing units over here. Let's wrap that around. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm going to turn it off. Maybe if there was skirmishes. Peppering and hitting those units on the bridge. So fire wheels on. The Hastati are going to get a quick little volley of the spearmen pushing across. And the Romans have the first blood. Hold the line, men. We should have enough with this one with the situation and the units. Our cavalry's gone across. We'll try and hit those guys. But if we could somehow kill the Gaulish king, that would be a massive play for us. We've charged over here. We've hit the warband on the rear side. We've managed to knock out 20, nearly 30. Reform, pull back, because we don't want to get stuck into a long, prolonged fight with spears. These guys are holding well, and fierce fighting has broken out on this far right flank. Just need to hold, men. I actually don't mind those Hastati on that right angle there, because they actually seem to be throwing spears in enough. I thought you couldn't go that way. Well, typical. The AI has somehow bugged it out. One of my cavalry's been caught there cycle charging, which is a shame. I'm going after these skirmishers now with the cavalry. These are only tier 1 equitae, so they're not the most armoured of units. If we can just harass and annoy with our cavalry, we might be able to pick more of these guys off. We are massively outnumbered, but I think it's probably time to send those units over the bridge, because they're just going to be sitting back there. But if we can completely... Look, if we can get a costly enemy victory, take out the king, and then allow Legion 1 to wrap things off, that'd be good. But we seem to be holding for now. Okay. So a couple of archers there are trying to skirmish against us. They seem to be clashing upon our shields like water on rock. They're moving mercenary barbarians up there, which we're focusing on, which is perfect, as they are slightly more armoured. We have 4 units there. If we can create a route attacking from behind, that's probably the play. Those skirmishers seem exposed, so we'll move our cavalry into play. Go here. We'll send in everyone, even the weaker of the 2 units. Those skirmishers are about to get the fiery fury of Rome coming up them. Good charge. Our Hastati are still holding for now. That's why they're so good, man. Hastati spam, particularly in this Rome 1 mod, even in Rome 1 itself. Pull back. performed super well. We're still not favoured to win this one. It's 70% in their favour, but all I'm hoping is mass casualties for the enemy side. They seem to be holding the line well. And these Hastati further on the left seem to be doing alright. Right, reform there. We're nearly around them there. Yeah, hit. Sound a charge against those skirmishers. We're going to trade volleys. It's a venomous volley. Reform and surround, I think. You go here. Go after those archers. Go for these warband. 4 units are reacting to the rear charge. Continue to go with another general buff there. Okay, so this is where they might struggle. Actually touting and going toe-to-toe with the Gaulish swordsman, which shouldn't be underestimated. We're going to have to quickly pull one of those units out because the spearmen there. The skirmishers are now gone. But we're doing alright, particularly when this is not a full stack. Push for those warband. We've taken a little bit of casualties, those looking to charge. Yeah, now that we've interlocked that Hastati with that warband unit, we can send in our cavalry to cycle charge it. There we go. Knocked off a fair few of them towards the end of the column. Reform. And we'll go in again. Looks like a unit from my front line is buckled. We'll send a unit of Hastati on the left to refill that. Those warband are now broken. Perfect. Yeah, we are making a slight dent into them, but it's not the best. I don't know the exact casualties and stained and inflicted, but we seem to be trading with them quite well for now. We've knocked out a couple of units here and there. Notably, the units we have destroyed are the skirmishers. This is no one important, just a family member from Junior and the other classes anyway. Alright, continue to get in there. We might even be able to get a hit in there somehow. Oh, there's their general. If we could go after the Gaulish king, who we have surrounded, we might do better, but the warband are still trading with us there. Oh, it looks like a Hastati unit that pushed on the flank isn't doing well. Maybe I was better not to attack and just sort of hold. But we want to just try and cause a mass rout if we're lucky. You might even be able to get around there, cavalry. Not the best of charges, but it's better than nothing, I think. It's going to be a close one regardless. I reckon we can narrow a victory out of it. There might be a Pyrrhic. But we're just sustaining too many casualties now. We've got them exactly where we want. It's just a 50-50 if... The guys can push through. Oh, that Hastati unit's now been... Now come back. Okay, we're just routing in not good enough areas. And the general's on the far left-hand side of the river. Their general bodyguard is pushing slightly up, so we might get lucky there. They're now routing. They've opened up. Let's charge those swordsmen again. Let's go. My equites are exhausted, to say the least. Apparently they're medium cavalry. I don't think that. I think they're less slightly armored. Oh, okay, now they're getting their own morale buffs. If we could get lucky and just general snipe the king, but they seem to be doing well fighting in the low shallows and the thick reeds. Yep. I think it's all over, Red Rover. It's a GG. Man, we were so close. I don't know. What was the better play? Were we better to hold and let them push us? Maybe giving out all those attack orders maybe cost us. Because they did have a lot of arguably better quality swordsmen with chevrons. Well, the general's at full health, so we'll try and retreat him. But at least we've softened them up enough. Yeah, I just don't know how many we got rid of. Enough to allow Lucius Julius Libo to march in there with his full stack and probably completely wipe them out. Yeah, we're just gonna have to give the withdrawal order away. What a battle, man. Maybe a better or a legendary tactician could have won that one. Costly enemy victory. Yeah. So we deployed 1.8k. We lost 1.3. They deployed 3.7 and lost 2.4. So we still managed to kill more than what we deployed. 3 Equites unit got 250, 250, 85. Man, a couple of those are starting 250, 220. So what really carried them? Mostly the swordsmen, the spearmen we did well. Yeah, just a bit of a shame. Their general's now cooked though, so hopefully that's the end of the Gaulish king. But Sextus Cicero, of the ruling class, has suffered a defeat here, a valiant defeat, for the first time in the Rome series. So about 500 remaining. But still, for them, there's only about 1,000 or so. Yeah, we killed 2,400. They only killed 1.3 of us, so overall we definitely performed better in this battle than them. So I'll take that. But I hope you've enjoyed this hour-long first episode here today. I've had a lot of fun testing out this mod. I had a blast with the Brutii series. I actually wouldn't be unopposed to doing maybe testing out some of the other factions. Like, I wonder how, like, the Greek city-states might actually be fun, because you got so much territory all over the place. Syracuse, Sparta, Asia Minor. Even though it's not entirely realistic, but a confederated Greek league, essentially. Might be very entertaining. Or maybe the Seleucids or Bronze Age Egypt. But a valiant defeat. We lost a couple of units. So, okay. So now Germany's attacked us after that battle with the Gauls. Maybe we, I don't know, we're a little bit weak. Right, so now we should be able to march on here. So how many are now remaining to finish this army off? Because we'll bring this in just to give us even better quality odds. Oh, that's annoying. I bounced it. Alright, there we go. That's better. Alright. Let's auto-resolve this one. And finish off the Gauls. And their king. Let's kill the captives. So, although we lost, we strategically didn't work out too bad. So now we can push for Babract. Tribune's daughter. It's always worth doing this, because you can import an important character. One of the noble daughters has proved herself. So now she comes into our house. Now, she's not very valuable, but marrying her off, she is. So, and then you add that other noble and you can adopt him. Alright, let's push north. So, we've defeated the Gaulish king. And hopefully, his major army. So we're going to pushing north to Celtica now. We want to try and get the entire province of Aquitania, but it looks like Bordeaux is probably going to fall to the Celtiberian Spanish. A decisive victory now. Let's loot and occupy. After taking Babract, we've managed to go up in Imperium. So we've taken the Gaulish capital, and Legion 1 and 2 are hanging out in the heart of Gaul. Alright, well, unfortunately guys, it is time to end the video here and wrap things up. Thank you very much for watching. Support the video if you haven't already. Like, sub, comment, and let me know where you'd like me to expand and conquer. So I think wrapping up the Gauls is probably the play. in northwest France. But now, unfortunately, we're at war with the Germans, who have pushed down into Retiar and Noricum. So we might be dealing with the fiery fury of Germania next. Anyway, stay tuned for more videos on the channel. I'm going to play the outro now. Unfortunately, guys, it is time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already with the bell notification on. Let me know in the comment section down below feedback and suggestions for the video. And feel free to leave a dislike. If you want to support the channel and follow me on my social media links, they are all linked in the description below. We've got the series playlist that you can access. You can also have a look at my gaming and recording equipment. If you want to get yourself some cheap games, check out the links. You can support me on Patreon if you want. Channel members are available. Use creator code SimpzyTotalWar on the Epic Games Store checkout to flick me a couple of bucks. We've got Twitter, Discord, merchandise, Facebook, Steam group, Instagram, Twitch, and Google Plus links all in the description below as well. But above all, guys, make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. Goodbye.